All right. So welcome to the first show. We are dealing with three things today. Y'all know that. And the first thing is topics, right? Topics. Then we'll move to tantrums and we'll move to tea. So let's get right on into it. So my girl Tracy, shout out to Tracy for sending me the idea to deal with cuties. I told you all that I was open and hoping that you would send me in anything that you thought would be interested in talking about in terms of the topic, the tantrum, or the tea. And Tracy sent me this information, which is, ow, she sent me the information about Cuties, the movie, and said, you need to watch this movie. Now she sent it to me 2 or 3 days in a row, and I kept saying, I'm gonna get around to it. I'm gonna get around to it. I didn't get around to it until night before last, and I was so glad I did. So glad I did because it was a perfect topic to discuss. So if you did get a chance to watch it, I know Tracy did, I know Crystal did, let me know. If you did not get a chance to watch Cuties, which is on Netflix, please do so. So let me give you a little bit of background information. I don't want to go, well, just let me give you a little background information. The movie is about a little girl. She is about, I want to say she's 11, I believe it is. Yeah, 11-year-old little girl named Ami. And it takes place in France, in the city in France, right? She's a Senegalese little African girl. But that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that when she comes into the country, she clearly she is moving, looks seemingly moving into the country with her mother. Her father's not there because he's behind doing some other things, but they're moving in. It's she, her mother, and her baby brother. The point is, the little girl is wanting really, really badly to fit in. And she, of course, not only is she new, but she's also African, which is a little different than what's going on around where she is, right? So she really wants to fit in with this group and this crowd. So what eventually happens, and this is the main thing, what eventually happens is she finds out when she goes to school one day that these little girls really like to dance, and they're in a little dance club. They have a little dance group, right? And I shouldn't say a little dance group because they're little girls, but they are very, very serious about dance. It's almost like these kids are like miniature fame kids, right? They really into dance. And on her way to school or back from school one day or whatever, whichever it was, she sees these four little girls, and they are really dancing. But not only are they really dancing, they are dressed very promiscuously. They are I saw something about, let's see, I think, did you say they took it away? If folks hadn't watched it yet, Netflix took it away. Y'all missed it. Okay, so let me go. Let me continue. So it had come that you're completely frozen. I just see something. Tracy, am I still frozen? Oh, this is irritating. Let's see. Tracy just sent me something, so I'm trying to see what it is. Oh Lord. Put something in the chat if you're still on. Anybody, so I know you're here. And I'm gonna click back over to Facebook real quick. See what I can see. If I hit this, so what do I get? So what do I get? Okay, so the right one is up now. As long as if they follow the face that looks like me right now, they'll be in. Okay, so the little girl wants really bad to be like these other kids. So what she does is, after watching them dance and what have you, and really, really, really paying attention to it, she really wants to be in this group. She starts watching these girls on a regular basis, almost stalking them, because she really wants to be a part of who they are. But at the same time, she realizes that the kind of sexually suggestive dancing that they're doing, and the kind of clothes they're they're wearing, she sees on music videos. It's not taken away, just checked. Okay. She sees it on music videos, and she starts witching. You were gone, Trace. Oh Lord Jesus. Okay. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my connection. But she gets enthralled with this whole half naked and really sexual suggestive dancing. What's interesting though is that she is from an Islamic family. She's Muslim. So they are portraying, and they are teaching the complete opposite of what she sees. But all of this is new to her. So what she ends up doing is she ends up stealing a cell phone, because that is her way to see what's going on in the world, of course. She steals a cell phone from her cousin, I think it is. And he doesn't know it, of course. But when she steals that cell phone, she really gets a good look at what's going on in terms of this whole sexually suggestive culture that girls are involved, that women are involved in. But they don't, these little girls don't necessarily, they don't see themselves as little girls. And that's very clear in the way they are approached. It's very clear in the way they approach people. It's very clear in the way they dress. It's clear in the way they talk, that they are pretending and wanting clearly to be grown women, right? And being really seeing the sexual side of being a grown woman. And that's what they're most enthralled with. So the controversy has been that these children that play these roles are really children. They're not older women that look like children, which is like what I thought they were. I just assumed that was the case, but that's not the case. This 11-year-old is really only 14-year-olds, 14-year-old. Another 11-year-old is really only 12-year-old. And the kind of clothing that they're wearing, and the kind of poses that they're in, and the kind of nudity and suggestion that's here, people got all in an uproar and a tizzy, because they felt like this is something that children should not be seen. You know, we should not be seen in this light. Our children should not be seen in this light. I mean, when I say suggestive, I mean they all bent over with their hands all in between their legs and pulling them up from the side, and you know, the whole bit. In one scene, one girl rips her shirt up, and you see her little nipples, and people are just, they're losing their mind, saying that this is not what should be taking place on TV with children, right? Now, keep in mind that it was not made in France. And as of right now, I'm not really giving my opinion. This is my first question for y'all. Well, let me just read something first that I got, because I saw something on the internet about it. And I thought that I would just welcome you all that are coming in. I know that some of you had a problem getting in tonight. I apologize about that. This is my first time. Bear with your girl. Bear with your girl. Share the video link if you can. This one, because apparently the other one expired or something. But share the video link. But let me just share something that I got. Tracy, let me know how I'm doing in terms of what you can hear and what you can see right now. Or anyone, let me know how I'm doing in terms of what you can see and what you can hear. So here's one thing that I found on, and this was on Roger Ebert's page, right? It's by a woman named Monica Castillo. But I thought this quote was really interesting. She said that Dokur, I think is the name, which is the name of the director. Dokur uses these uncomfortable images to provoke a serious conversation about the sexualization of girls, especially regarding girls of color. The policing of girl sexuality, double standards, the effect of social media on kids, and how children learn these behaviors. To do this, the director shows what it looks like for a young girl to emulate emulate what they see in music videos and grown-up dance routines. I'm gonna stop right there. So my question is to you, do you think, let me just ask you this first. Do you think that this kind of movie was too sexual to show, or to too sexual a way to portray children of this age? That's my first question. You all answer that for me. Let me look back at some of these comments. Crystal said it's not taken away, but it's checked, meaning the movie. Tracy said, oh, I'm back. So she must have got kicked out or something. Crystal said, I hope they got therapy and mental background checks on being casted for it. That's a very interesting point. Okay, good. Crystal said she can hear well and see well. That makes me feel good. Okay, so Crystal said that she hoped they got therapy. Crystal, do you think that it was too suggestive for a child that age? Do you think it's something that maybe Netflix needs to pull? Let me know. And anybody else who wants to chime in. Crystal, I'm so glad that you said you can hear well and see well. Hopefully everybody else can too. I see there are other people that are coming in. I can't necessarily see your name yet, but welcome, welcome, welcome. please do me a favor and share this stream on your social media accounts so that you can help me build my platform. Please, please, please. Um, and while you all are thinking about that, I'm gonna read the other part that I got today offline. Same woman, and it says, a few times in the film, we see confused or even disgusted faces of adults watching the younger generation gyrate and twerk, biting their lips or their nails in a suggestive way. It is likely that these girls don't fully understand what those gestures mean, but they see it in pop culture and they imitate it, like several other generations of girls before them. Okay, let's see what's going on. Crystal says she hopes it got therapy. She can see well. Gwendolyn McCullough said, "Cuz you are breaking up on my end." Oh, that's what Tracy said too. I don't know what's going on. Corey, what's going on your end? Let me know. I'm not sure what the connection issue is. I'm going to I have to have Comcast look into it because we increased it. We increased it to what they call the blast so that we wouldn't have these problems. But clearly we're still having some problems. Cuties provides a platform for families to talk and use it, I think she said. What is your take on that? Pee Wee, let me know if it changes at all. Corey said, I hate that it's reality for our babies. I appreciate that the conversation is being had. We have got to have conversation with our children, be involved with them, and not allow it. That's interesting. Try going live on IG, Vic. I don't need. Can I do that from my computer? Because I don't really use IG. You think it'll be better than this format, Trace? Let me see. I guess I could just do it on my phone. Give me 1 second. Still breaking up badly. Wow. Okay, I'll try to go live on IG as well. Okay, I'm live on IG right now. So let me just put that right there. Hopefully. Ooh. Okay, so yeah, I'm on IG too. I mean IG too. Okay, so adults judge the audition and competition while they dance suggestively in their skimpy outfits in public. Corey, did you see it too? Let me know. We're talking about Cuties for those of you who are just coming in. Crystal said, I think that it should have been played publicly on Netflix or just a film for college classrooms. Some kids may have had access to it, and pervs maybe should have been provided learning purposes. That's interesting because I'm sure. Okay, here we need volume, Trace. Okay, what about now? Let me know if that's any better. Is that any better, Tracy? Because I gave you all the volume I have, so hopefully that's a little better. So, Corey said she watched it last week. Awesome. That was what? Tracy, what in the heck is going on? Hold on. All right. What about now, Tracy? The volume is completely up. The pick is amazing. Well, hopefully we get something else to change other than the pick. So the volume is all the way up. Yeah, it's all the way up. So hopefully it'll change. So okay, Crystal said I think it should have been played. I think so too. Crystal, no freezing but no volume. What? That's crazy. I think so too. First I thought that I was going to be well, I think Tracy thought too that I wasn't going to be able to feel his hook. So when she sent it to me, she said, keep an open mind, Vic, keep an open mind. I thought, okay, I will do that. But when I saw it, I thought to myself, First of all, I watched it with my 16-year-old. We were on the edge of our seats, not because we were waiting for the next thing to happen, because we were scared to death. We were just, it was just so, it made me cringe. It made me cringe to see those little girls in the situations they were in. Several places, like for instance, when they were in the paint house with those men, I just knew that those men were going to take advantage of them. Or when the little girl pulled her pants down in front of her cousin because she wanted to keep his phone and thought that she gave him a little something that she'd get his phone. So there were a lot of reasons and a lot of places. Tracy, I heard you said restarted. I'll do that. Oh, can you hear it? You said yay. Oh, you can hear. Okay, she said she can hear now. Thank God. Thank God. Okay, so I was just scared at every turn of what could happen or what might take place during that, all these, these relationships they had, and these interactions that they have with different people. In terms of, okay, Corey said, I'm watching on Facebook by just clicking the YouTube direct connection where we can comment is the one that's jacked up. I'm switching back and forth. Interesting. Huh. I just knew. You said you just knew a rape was going to happen. Me too. Me too. I just couldn't. I was on pins and needles, right? So now let me move on. When I think about the fact that it is extremely suggestive, and the fact that those babies were actually babies, now that surprised me. I didn't expect them to be babies. Matter of fact, when I talked to my daughter, we were talking about discussing it, I said to her, more than likely, these are not real girls. They're probably women that look like babies, right? But then, of course, immediately I went to the internet to see if they were, and they were not children. I started thinking another way. I was like, oh man, because there was a whole lot of skin. There was a whole lot of everything. It was just in your face, and it was nerve-wracking to see. But what I believe is exactly what I saw that the director said pretty much, and that was that she wanted you to know that this is what it is. So if we could look at something like that and just start cringing, or if we look at something like that and become angry, mortified, indignant, my thought is, and I don't want to see my baby up there. I don't want to see nobody's baby up there looking like that. But the truth of the matter is that my belief is that is what we are allowing when we allow these women and men to portray us as women in these videos and music and this and culture in a way that is exactly what those girls were attracted to. When I hear that people are so angry, because when you read the articles, they're vehement about, they're disgust in watching these babies do this and that and the other. And my ultimate thought is, if you got that kind of pain behind what you saw, or that kind of passion behind what you saw, rather than trying to cancel Netflix, you need to be trying to cancel Cardi B. You feel me? It seems to me that if we have that kind of passion, we canceling the wrong people, right? Because just like in the film, these babies didn't make this up. I think it was hard to look at because they were children, but those children are having the same access to that shit that we do. Some of them are 4 and 5 and younger, and they have the same kind of access that we do. Tracy, I see you said Brooke Shields was 14 when she made Blue Lagoon. 10-minute sex scene. Yes, she was. Yes, she was. And here's the other thing. Brooke Shields was a sex symbol for white men for a long time. A long, long time. So Crystal said, I knew a rape was gonna, okay, a rape was gonna happen. I expected a whole bunch of stuff to happen in that movie. I really did. But I really don't think that we should be, well, not that we shouldn't be upset. I think that we should be upset, but I think that kind of anger is directed at the wrong person, the wrong organization, the wrong entity. because we have, I think that we should, that as especially now, what was interesting about this movie too though is it wasn't just black girls. There was a black girl, there was a Hispanic girl, or there's an African girl, yeah, there was a Hispanic girl, there was a white girl, and there was maybe another Hispanic girl. Maybe she would have been Hispanic. So I think that was purposeful too. Tracy said these children are our babies. Absolutely they are. Absolutely they are. And I think that the director purposefully used different kind or different skin tones, different cultures on purpose to let you know that this thing is far and wide, it's big. You know, it's much larger than one particular culture or race. And I believe that's true. At the same time, though, I do think that the black community is more inundated with this kind of thing. Absolutely. And I think that's the case because the black community is a community where most of the hip hop music comes out of, right? We created hip hop like we created jazz. It is what it is, right? Now it has spilled over into some other communities and other cultures, but it was created by us. And unfortunately, that is the same avenue that is used to turn our children into thoughts. You know, that hole over there. I know y'all know what that is. It is that's the same community, in my opinion, that is used, that is a vehicle used to turn our children wayward. Now, it's not like we haven't seen some of these things before, because of course I go back to thinking about like Luke Skywalker, and I was a kid and didn't agree with that. But I was what, 16, 17 years old, but I knew that was too raunchy for a child. I knew that. I knew that. But I'm sick and tired. I'm gonna tell you what makes me even angrier than watching these babies, because the babies are only a byproduct of what we allow or we create. What makes me more angry is the fact that our men and our women, young men and women can be used so easily and directed so easily and manipulated so easy for a few pieces of silver. They'll sell out the whole community for a few pieces of silver. That's what pisses me off. Because the truth of the matter is those few pieces of silver ain't gonna last long way. Because you're gonna find out even that was fool's. It was fool's gold. It was fool's silver. Because they only dangle it in front of you or give you a little bit for a little while before they figure out how to take it back. You can ask people like um R. Kelly that. He'll tell you that shit. They only give it to you for a minute anyway. Right? They let you enjoy it and get used to it, and then you find yourself locked up like Bill Cosby. So, tell me your thoughts on that. Let me know what y'all think about that there. And I'm gonna sip my tea while I do that. Now, Corey, you said you watching from the link on Facebook by just clicking, and then the YouTube direct connection where we can comment is the one that's jacked up. Okay, so all right, April's Famous Bakes. Hello, Tracy. You feel me? You feel me? Okay, so let me do this. If I go to y'all, just hang out with me for a minute. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure it out. Y'all know we having some technical difficulties. Let me click on the Facebook thing and see what happens. The Facebook thing and see what happens. The Facebook thing, see what happens. Brings me back to this. Brings me back to this. I'm not sure what to do about that. I'm not sure what to do about that. Let me go back here. Um, okay, so I still have okay, so Tracy said folk better know what their kids are doing. Absolutely. So that was interesting. Okay, April said I just logged in, so I missed the discussion. Okay, but April, okay, you're on Instagram, so I know you can hear me. I mean, yeah, you're on Instagram. So on Facebook, on Facebook and YouTube, or at least YouTube, we're having some kind of issue. I deal with that at a later date because I can't figure it out now. Okay, so April, here's a discussion. We are talking about our topic, and the topic is Netflix Cuties. The whole movie, the entire movie is about thought culture, and it's It's about these little 11-year-old girls, and 11-year-old girls have a dance group. But they are, if you have not seen it yet, I'm assuming you haven't. The 11-year-old girls are fascinated, especially the one. There's one who's an African, and she is the protagonist. She's a Senegalese little girl, and she's Muslim. But she moves to this city in France. And when she comes to the city in France, she is supposed to start school and everything like that. When she does, she gets involved with these 11-year-old girls that she really likes because she wants to be, included. But they are into THOT culture. They dress like 20-year-old women. And they're like in I think they might be elementary, honestly. I don't think they're middle school. No, they're not, because one is 11, right? So they dress like grown women wearing heels, the whole bit. They can dance, but they dance like strippers. But that is what she's enthralled with because she doesn't know anything else, and she wants to be connected to this community. So it really gets to be hard to watch, to see these little girls interact with other people, and you see them when they literally, the little African girl is the one it was hard to watch. She is the one who, she's supposed to be sitting in church, right? And well, not church, I'm sorry. She's supposed to be sitting in the mosque, and she is in the mosque. So they have her, the women are praying, right? And they have her sitting in the middle, and she has her, I think the name, I know it's a burqa when you're completely covered. I can't remember what they call it when you're not completely covered, but the one you cover your head with. But when they're praying, sometimes they cover their head when they're praying. So here's 11-year-old girl, April. This part, I was cringing. They're sitting in the mosque, and all the women are on the floor sitting down there praying, and they have her in the middle. So she's in the middle while they're praying, and she has her piece on her head. I wish I had a piece of material so I could really, play it off. But she has her piece on her head. And in the middle of the prayer, she pulls it over her head, which wouldn't be odd, you're praying. She pulls it over her head, but she pulls it over her head completely. So when she pulls over her completely, they assume that she's in there praying. Her ass is on the cell phone that she stole from her cousin, watching strippers booty jerking. So they think she praying, and they praying, blah, 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 but she literally is under her covering with the phone enthralled, just about slobbing, honestly, watching these strippers. When I say strippers, I mean they are stripping, they asses is bare, they slapping on each other's ass, which ain't much different than what we see in the WAP video, right? They slapping on each other and bouncing each other's asses and the whole while she's all, literally, she's like she's about to come. The little girl, it's unbelievable how enthralled she is with that. So they think she's praying. When she leaves that situation, the next thing you see her back in school. And at first, the other little girls don't want nothing to do with her. But she's determined that she's going to be a part of this clique. She tell them that she's going to teach them. Well, actually, she show them. She started doing some dances they can't do. And the stuff she doing, this is stuff she been researching. So her ass is just a flipping. And they like, oh, she can do that. They like, oh, you can be in the club. All of a sudden, she becomes the teacher. So she got their ass right, P-Valley strippers. Exactly. So she got their asses lined up like she is Debbie Allen, teaching them how to do all these stripper moves. And these 11-year-old girls, mind you. And the whole thing that people were upset about was because they had these 11-year-old girls doing all this shit. Anything you see, anything you see normally in these videos and on P-Valley, they were doing all of that at 11 years old, and they really were kids. So that was the issue. But we moved past that piece. And my point is that was extremely hard to watch. At the same time, it is the extreme truth. It is the exact shit that these babies are exposed to. And we have a part in it by allowing this type of exposure and not calling anybody on the carpet, any of the record companies, any of these artists who will sell out their whole community for a wood nickel, right? And that's what it is, because it don't last. It don't last. They only have that. They're only up on top for a minute before they snatch them down, embarrass them, take everything from them. You feel me? So yeah. Let me see what April said. April said she is misguided and lost. That's sad. It was very sad. It's a documentary of, no, it's a fiction. It's a story. It's a movie. It's a movie. Crystal then switched over to Instagram. Hey, Chris. Yeah, her mom had real issues, and that's true, Tracy. So let me just tell you quickly about that, and then we're going to move on. I knew that this topic might run us way over, because we have 2 more to discuss, and I wanted to be out by 11:30. But let me just tell you real quick what that was about. She of course was Muslim. Her issue was, when they moved, her father didn't come with them. She kept waiting on her daddy to come. Where's daddy? Where's daddy? Where's daddy? Mama just kept saying, he's coming. He'll be here. He'll be here. Well, come to find out, the reason daddy couldn't get there, daddy was actually preparing to marry another woman, right? And the baby was not ready for that. But she was 11. So how do you say anything in a situation like that when you're 11 years old, and that is the custom? So there's nothing that she could say, but she internalized it and began to rebel, just really rebel. What was interesting, I thought too, Tracy, though, was that the only person that picked that up, the only person that picked up what was truly wrong with that girl was the imam, who came over to pray for them. And because the mama said she needed an exorcism, right? But the real issue was the baby was literally under the bed hiding. Yeah, me too, Crystal. The baby was under the bed hiding when her mother got the news about her father marrying another woman. That was the issue. Let me see. My cousin said, Facebook says you are live, but it's not showing you live. Oh my God. We got to figure this out. I couldn't believe she did that. Corey said the movie seemed to be indicative of the experience of African, and then that's all I can see. It doesn't tell me anything else yet. So she internalized it, and she just started really, really, rebelling. But when the imam came to pray after she had tried to have her exercised twice, the imam came to pray for her. And he put his hand on her head, and the little girl did like he said, "No, I have to pray for you," And he put his head right here, and he just prayed a soft little prayer. And when he finished, he went to the mother, and he basically said to her 2 things. He basically said that this child doesn't need an exorcism. And the second thing that he just didn't string them together, but this is what he meant. The other thing he said was, your husband taking another wife, if it does not work for you, he said, you have the right to leave. And he said something to let her know that this, but he didn't string them together like in America would string the sentence together. He didn't string it together like that. But he said something to let her know that the baby was rebelling as a result of this had been made, right? And that was her way of rebelling. But he said to her, she doesn't need prayer, right? Pretty much, she's like, she need a break and some attention. So, okay, so let's see. Nothing was far-fetched, just sad reality. You exactly, Corey. I agree. Hi, Eileen. How you doing? You see my t-shirt, Eileen? I got my t-shirt on. You see it? My t-shirt say "Got Dreams." I got this shirt from Eileen. You see it? Yeah, that's what he said. There's no evil spirit here. That's what he said. Tracy said he basically said ain't nothing wrong with her issue. Right. Because she couldn't deal with the fact that her husband was marrying another woman, but she didn't, in her pain, she didn't deal with her daughter at all. She just kind of ignored her. Just completely ignored her and tried to, I don't think she really dealt with her issue either. She just suppressed it. But in her suppressing it, she was probably taking, because we didn't see her a lot. I'm assuming she was working. But that baby was home taking care of her business, taking care of the son and the baby, while she was somewhere probably working and disregarding what was going on. And the little girl just went out and that was it. Right. That was it. All of it came out that way. So I'm going to close this down. Any last thoughts on Cuties? If you haven't seen it, go ahead and see it, y'all. It really speaks to our situation and where we are today. And I want to say it speaks to the fact that we are oftentimes, Tracy, like the mother, we're responsible and don't even realize we're responsible. And I'm saying that as a community, our responsibility should be in that we are not saying anything, we're not doing anything, we're not requiring anything of these artists and these record companies. That's what should be boycotted. That shit right there. Those are the organizations, the people, whatever, that should be boycotted, because they are responsible for whether if you have a platform, then damn it, you got the platform. You know, everybody wants to glory and no guts. Everybody wants, but they don't want to be responsible for receiving it. And I think that's a problem, because to he or she, who much is given, much is required. Period. Tracy said, no boy Netflix for me. I'm promoting the movie. I know that's I know that's right, because it's the hard discussion that we need to have, for real. For real. Any last minute, anything else on that? All right. I'm gonna give it a minute or so, and then I'm moving on to the next topic. We're at 10:49, so we're a little over on this one. April says she will watch. Good. It is worth the watch. Don't watch it with, you have to watch it with, I was gonna say with your husband, but I don't even know about your husband. It's a grown woman's movie. You don't even want no little girls around that. It's a grown woman movie, really. But there's so much, them little girls they all bent over and all. You probably don't want to watch with your husband either, but with a grown woman for sure, or or a teenager, or or a young girl, because that's can be definitely a conversation starter. Okay, creative Chris Collins said, my last thoughts are how others can be open-minded enough to watch and see the spiritualism in it. That's true. In the end, the girl got to make her own choice. That's true. And jumped to the sky. That is true. That's true. That's very true. I read something in one of these articles too, where it said, the director said in the what she wanted to show at the very end is she's just a baby, and all the stuff that she's trying to do, she's only doing what you see. She's only regurgitating what she's eating, right? But it doesn't change the fact that she's a baby. She is a baby. So at the very end, like Crystal was saying, the girl ended up, at the very end, her mother, after hearing that statement from the imam, she didn't say anything once he told her that. She's kind of put her head down, but she heard it. We know she heard it because on the day of the wedding, when the daddy showed up with the woman, she was about to lose her mind. The baby was about to lose her mind, and she went to her mama and crying and just losing it. And the mama looked at her, and the mama said to her, "You don't have to go. You don't have to go." And she looked at her mother. She didn't want her mother to go either. Her mother, you could tell that she didn't want to go, but she wasn't quite ready to do differently than what she knew to do. So she kind of slowly put her I forgot what they call it, but the real fancy gele, put her gele on, and she went out. But she told her daughter, "You don't have to go." And when she told her she didn't have to go, she didn't put on that fancy dress they had bought for her. She went put on some jeans and a t-shirt. She went outside and she caught them. "I see you, Lala. How you doing, mama?" She saw the babies outside. She went outside and they were twirling rope. And when she saw them twirling rope, she walked up to him, and the girl looked at her like, "You want to jump?" And she looked and she did. I don't know if she asked her anything, but she looked and she did like this. And she twirled and she just jumped and jumped. You could see the childlike wonder come back to her face, the joy come back to her, because on the way to that jump rope, she got an opportunity to pass the wedding ceremony. She looked in, she saw all her people together. She looked the other way at the outside door. She took that route and went to play jump rope. So very, very good movie. Very good movie. Let's see. Got Lala is in the house. Lala is in the house. Hello. Auntie told mom to suck. She so did. She told her suck it up when she realized that her husband had another one. Suck it up. That's what we do. That's pretty much what she said. Suck it up. She said, "No, you a woman. You got to be a woman and take it for the most part." So that's a whole nother conversation right there. A whole nother conversation. So I'm moving right along. I'm hoping, Corey, I think you are still over here on YouTube. So let me know what's going on.